The Pittsburgh Steelers are built for 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers, not 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Top Shelf Tuesday edition, new sheriff in Steel City, Aaron Rodgers is a Pittsburgh Steeler. We'll talk about that. In segment 2, we'll talk about the college quarterback class of 2025 since teams are tanking already. And who can go worst to first, strictly for entertainment purposes only. But first, Pittsburgh's got their man. Aaron Rodgers is officially a Pittsburgh Steeler. The team posted pictures. The deal includes $10 million guaranteed. It is worth up to $19.5 million with incentives, but it technically is a 1-year, $13 million contract. He's going to wear number 8 because there is no way in heaven and earth that he was going to wear number 12 in Pittsburgh. Terry Bradshaw wouldn't like that. He's going to be at their mandatory mini camps, which begins the day this show comes out. So it is well documented that it didn't work out in New York. And Will, thank you for joining us today, Captain for Life. Is this going to make a difference, or this is not going to work for Pittsburgh?
I think it'll keep butts on the seats. I think people are going to watching. I think people are going to tune in because at the end of the day, his name is Aaron Rodgers, and you're going to turn in. But I mean, if we get the same Aaron Rodgers we got last year, then Pittsburgh can already expect they're not going to really win enough. But they're not going to be bad enough to get the quarterback of their future, which kind of sucks because it was kind of one of those like catch-22s where it's like, if we have a terrible, terrible, terrible season, we have a chance in the top 3. We could take, Archie Manning, any one of the top quarterback prospects that's come out this year. But, that could cost Mike Tomlin his job. But it needs to happen. But right now, I think they're doing is something that's just going to be middling. Now, again, I think that Rodgers will do a little bit better in Pittsburgh. I think the structure is better in Pittsburgh. I think that you have at least somebody that you can throw the ball to. You have a defense. But at the end of the day, Pittsburgh is doing themselves a disservice by even picking him up. I would have said I would have give it a year and say, look, if we're terrible, we're terrible. Move on, draft a quarterback. Let's move on and do our thing. Put Tomlin in, in the front office. If you really love him and you want to keep him, put him in the front office. I couldn't imagine coach for anybody else. And then hire a young coach and then do what you want to do and expire some contracts. It's just weird that Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers is such an amazing organization that they knows how to win. They know consistency. They've only had 3 or 4 head coaches in their history, period. It's just so difficult. It's weird that they can't figure out this problem. And it's kind of like they're a little too much of a home loving kind of organization. Like, no. We don't fire coaches. We love coach. We bring them up. Like if they when they retire, it's fine. And I think they went the wrong road with this one. And that was more of like an organizational move, in my opinion. And it's just bad business.
All right. So Connors, our teacher of the month every month. I'm going to try to sell you on this before you answer. I talked to a number of Pittsburgh Steelers fans. They're all over the place. And they said, we've been building this line for the last 2 or 3 years. So we've got that. We've got some serviceable wideouts and weapons. And the last 5 to 7 games that Aaron Rodgers played, he played very well. That's what they're selling me on. And also, Cleveland stinks. Cincinnati's not as good, so we can get 9, 10 wins, get in the playoffs. We're always splitting with Baltimore, so we've got something. Did I sell you, Connors?
No. The Pittsburgh Steelers are built for 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers, not 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers, he has his 4 MVPs all about himself. He's the greatest quarterback ever. He'll tell you, just ask him. He's won 1 Super Bowl. People have been hyping this guy up since he was at Cal, and very good quarterback, extremely intelligent guy, but I wouldn't want him on my team. I saw what he did with the Jets. I saw the cancer in the locker room that he was. He went to Egypt instead of going to mini camp after blowing out his ACL. His Achilles tendon, which was not his fault. Those are freak injuries that happen. But this is an organization that has moved the quarterback. Sometimes even Ben wasn't that mobile, but he was more mobile than a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers with a bad wheel. So I just don't see this fitting. I think that he is the kind of guy who puts himself above the team. I mean, he put himself, he called all the coaches by first name. And when he was with the Jets, he called out receivers for not knowing the hand signals and the terminology that he put in that week, not the coaches put in, that Rodgers put in that week. And poor Mike Williams, who's a great receiver, just couldn't keep up with Rodgers changing things. So he got run out of town. And Rodgers badmouthed him in the press. That's not a guy I want on my team. I can't see Tomlin tolerating that or the Steelers organization. So I think it's going to be one of those sideshows that, is kind of like the Jets were the last year. I don't think they're going to fire coaches mid-year or anything, but I don't think they're going to be that 9-10 win team that they think. I mean, when he came to the Jets, they were saying that was the only piece they needed to be a Super Bowl team. They had a great defense. They had good offensive tools. Now, the first year, like we said, he got hurt. In the second year, 5 wins. Quarterbacks don't get more mobile as they get older and recover from torn Achilles. Okay. But, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, but I just don't see this as the best move in signing Rodgers. And he signed for nothing. That tells you his confidence. I mean, again, Jones for the Giants made $40 million each season the last 2 seasons. And they're going to pay the great Aaron Rodgers, the legend in his own mind, 13 guaranteed. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me, except he wants his name in the papers. He wants the headlines. He wants to be the focal point. Pittsburgh's a mid-market, but with a huge market draw with being Pittsburgh, a huge national audience. So we'll see what happens, but I just don't see it ending well for Rodgers here.
All right, Connors, I'm staying with you. Giants. Russell Wilson says he's not really a mentor to rookie quarterbacks, but he's going to help. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You got Jameis Winston. You drafted Jaxson Dart. It looks like Russ is going to be the starter, but you also have, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, the hardest schedule in the league.
Yes.
How comfortable are you feeling going into the season after hearing a little bit about voluntary OTAs and mandatory OTAs are coming in this week?
I don't feel comfortable at all as a Giants fan. Now, there's some things that I like and some things that I don't like. I like the fact that Russell Wilson is coming in and taking a leadership role. I don't care if he's a mentor. You don't have to hold Dart's hand and walk him through everything. Lead by example. That's what leaders do. Nowhere in his contract does it say be a mentor. We talked about mentorships last week a little bit as well. But if you come in and you're a team leader, you show the young players how to lead, how to organize your thoughts, work ethic, how to build a team around you, how to be the man that everyone wants to be around and the leader. Show them through your actions. That's what I want from him. And as a veteran who's won a Super Bowl, and let's be honest, he made some mistakes with his public persona when he went to the Denver Broncos. He wanted the suite. He wanted his office. He wanted his people there. He wanted this and that. And it didn't work out real well for him. So he seems like a pretty smart guy. So I'm hoping that humbled his ego a little bit. And we go back to the football player that he was when he was with Seattle. He had a lot of talent. Okay. That's why he got the big contract in Denver. But I think that was a learning experience for him. The market in New York is dying for a quarterback who's a leader, who says the right things, doesn't throw people under the bus. His wife being the entertainer, she could do amazing things in New York City entertainment-wise. So this is where they want to be. He had come to the Giants a few years ago, and we thought they were going to sign him. So this is where he wants to be. And if he can be the leader that he was before, I think that's a lot of good things happening. And like I said, he doesn't have to mentor Dart. Just show him the ropes. Show by example.
All right. Will, we're going to close out with you. The fact that we talked about this from the beginning of this guy's career says we've been on a little bit. But Anthony Richardson, former Florida Gator, he's already got injuries, and the season hasn't even started. What do you think the coach should do with this? What are your thoughts on it's just not looking good, and it's June We haven't even gotten to the season yet. What are you thinking?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we have to talk out is that he quit it on the team. He was too tired. He was too tired.
I forgot about that.
You remember, I'm too tired, coach. Put me out. I can't finish it. How do you put trust in a team like that of veterans are supposed to trust and believe that you're going to show up every down that you can? We have guys who have all kinds of injuries who are like, yeah, I'm playing next week, and they do play, and they may be terrible, but being them on the field, it's exciting. It allows teams to like let's go. It gets me hyped. I'm ready to go. He's out here like. We've heard it numerous of times. When Shaq, my teammate, when he came back with the ankle, that was inspiring. That's like, man, that's great to hear. But on the flip side, it's going to make you feel on the flip side because it's like, dude, this guy was tired and he's not good. It's not. It also that he's not. The dude can throw the ball a mile, but what is going to land? I don't know. If you make him run a little outright to the post, and I need you to just get there and get 7 yards, I don't know if he can do that. And then on top of, like you said, he's injury prone. How are you going to be a runner and injury prone? We can't even really use your best skill set if you're injured. And I've seen him in Florida, and I was just seeing, and I could not believe when they drafted him so early because I'm like, what are these people seeing that I'm not seeing? Maybe I'm not I'm not in it. I don't know. But this kid is not. He is a, you know. Long story short, there's no way, barring him playing out of his mind, has to be an MVP conversation, playing Pro Bowl minimum, that he would get paid. There's no way. He's already doing an audition. He's doing who's the next team that's going to pick me up, because I couldn't see anybody paying him in any way. Not a franchise, not anything. So, maybe he feels that pressure and he plays better, and maybe they will get at minimum, coach, he'll get a franchise. He's not getting a contract.
He's not getting a franchise.
Yeah, he's not getting
exactly.
a franchise.
Exactly. He might not even get that
contract. And there's 15 good quarterbacks coming out next year.
And great segue, Connor. So in segment 2, we're going to talk about the top college prospects that these guys seem to be waiting for. We're going to give you our little analysis here. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student-athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student-athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student-athlete success. I believe every student-athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student-athlete succeed. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2, the college quarterback class of 2026. Is this class of quarterbacks really that good that you're taking? So we're not going to go over everybody, but we are going to go over some people. And the first guy is Arch Manning from Texas, 6'4", 222 pounds. He looks the part. He is a redshirt sophomore, so he has the ability to come out. When he's good, he's very good, but there's such a small sample size with Arch Manning. Connors, I'm giving you Arch Manning. What are your thoughts on him? Should he come out? Should he wait? What are you thinking about him as a prospect?
I really like what Sarkisian did with him in Texas. He came out highly touted, very gifted athlete, great quarterback, had a great high school career, was one of the top prospects in his class. He has the name, the Manning name, his grandfather, his uncles, his brother Cooper was supposedly the best athlete of the bunch who suffered from some concussion injuries when he was younger, so it didn't relate to the pros. But this kid supposedly is the whole package. And I like how they started him slowly. They didn't throw him right in. They didn't get him beat up. Texas was a good team. Texas is always a good team, but they didn't think they were going to challenge for the national championship that year. So they gave him some time to grow. That being said, from what we've seen so far of him in college, and I've seen him play a couple of times, I have no idea if he's going to be a good pro. He hasn't done enough. And this is hard for me to say because having a Manning on my team forever, they used him more as a runner. He used his legs, and that's not a thing the Mannings generally do. They're not known for their agility and mobility. They're known for their brains and their arms. And I think if he comes out and has an amazing first team all 8 NCAA year, maybe he does come out, but he doesn't have to. That's the thing. He can stay in. I wouldn't be shocked if he did. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't. I think the Mannings are going to be smart, kind of like they were with Eli. Eli wouldn't go to San Diego at the time. So if, a team that he doesn't think is a good fit for him is going to be the top pick, second pick, third pick, he can say, you know what? Arlington's pretty nice. I got a good gig here. I can stay for another year, mature, blow things up, win a Heisman, maybe win 2 Heismans, who knows, and then move forward. But we can't say right now if he's going to be a good pro or not. All the writing on the wall is yes, but we just haven't seen enough of him competing at the college level to say if he's a surefire NFL Hall of Famer, all-star quarterback or anything like that. We just don't know yet.
All right. Well, you're going to yell at me early. You're going to yell at me this summer. You're going to yell at me in the fall, and you're going to definitely yell at me at bowl time. Drew Aller from Penn State, 6'5", 238 pounds. He's a senior. He's experienced. You know how I feel about the BCA, so I will probably waste some money on Penn State again. But is this the guy you tank for? What do you think about Drew Aller?
Oh, I think, I love the word like sexy metrics. Like you said, coach, he has everything that you want when you're looking at a quarterback. 6'5", 238, really good, decent upper tier arm strength that can put the ball out there. He's mobility enough, and it's obviously he's big. So if he can move in that size, like that's amazing in my opinion. Like 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, good season, under 3,500 yards, needs some notable wins against some good teams. Need to see, just like I need to see that you beat Ohio State. Are you different?
Are you yelling at me now? Because I'm going to say,
Coach, if you're going to be a guy who goes to Penn State and you're a quarterback, your biggest baseline is going to be like, did you beat Michigan? Did you beat Ohio State? If you didn't, I don't know if I'm gonna put you, and you would have to have an amazing game, 5 touchdowns, no picks, something crazy like that. But trust me, if he goes down and he beats Ohio State, beats a Michigan, puts out good numbers up, be in the top 5 in the Heisman, not even in the, not even have to win it. I think with his metrics, he's going top 3. He's going right after Arch Manning if they go in the same joint, in my opinion.
All right. Connors, I'm pitching underhand to you right now. Cade Kublik from Clemson. 6'2" is what he's listed at, so you know what's going to happen when he gets to Indy. 210 pounds, but he's a senior. Is this guy first round worthy in your opinion?
Yes, he's first round worthy. Is he 6'5" like the gentleman from Penn State? No, but this kid plays with incredible confidence. I mean, the Clemson went out and they got Garrett Riley to walk away from TCU coming out of the national championship game to coach him. He didn't come to Clemson for any other reason but to coach this kid. And last year, he really, after his sophomore year, Cade had a couple of question marks. People weren't sold on him yet. They brought in Garrett Riley. They didn't have the best year, but they had a good year last year. They made the college football playoff. Most people didn't think they would. And this year, Clemson is stacked. Their front seven and defense is going to rival one of the best. It's probably the best set front seven in college football. The offensive line is coming back. I think they have 5 starters coming back. The one problem is he is 6'2". Sometimes he does get lost behind the line because he is not 6'5", 6'6", but he's smart. He's mobile. He is flat out fast on a breakaway, even though he tripped on the 20-yard line one time when he was running for a touchdown unscathed. But the kid's a winner. Okay. He comes from big time Texas football. Dabo Swinney can't say enough good things about him. And I know not everyone's a Dabo fan, Keith, but I mean, he has his metric that he goes by. They just don't recruit you because you're a 5-star. They recruit you if you fit their mentality and their system, and the other teammates approve of you. And Dabo went out this year and signed 3 people from the portal. That's the first 3 people they've ever signed from the portal in the last 5 years that we've had the portal. So Clemson's going all in this year on Cade's senior year. And yes, I think he could be the top pick if Clemson goes and gets into the playoff and goes deep. Not saying they have to win it, but Cade could be the first guy in orange, purple, and white to win the Heisman this year.
All right. Will, you're going to close us out. Carson Beck, Miami, the U, 6'4", 220 pounds, and let's just say he is well seasoned as the 6th-year senior. What do you think about Carson Beck? Is he worthy of a first-round draft grade in your opinion?
He did pretty well at he was disappointing on his file because he got hurt at Georgia. I mean, I don't know if you can believe in him. I don't know. I mean, again, you go from the SEC to the ACC. To me, you have to put up amazing numbers this year. You would have to put up 4,000 to 5,000 yards, definitely 30+ touchdowns, something that stands out and says, "Yeah, I went down, but I'm still the guy. I'm still that guy. I'm still him." If he goes down and he plays less or worse, I mean. Look at Quinn Ewers. I think it's going to be a Quinn Ewers kind of situation, even if he plays the whole year. I think it's going to be a situation where he's going to be outside of the first round, possibly out of the 3rd or 4th round. He'll get a pickup with a team that'll give him a chance. But, I just don't think he's good enough. I don't think he has the God-given talent, as they say, to be a can't miss prospect. But, he has a chance. He has to win with Miami if he puts up great stats in Miami. If he can put his name in the national spotlight and people can say, "Oh, Carson Beck. Oh man, let me hear about that." And you say it around Archie Manning's name, he has a chance to go into the early. He can go to the first round, but it'll be, in my opinion, it'll be an uphill battle. And I don't think he's better than Cam Ward. And I don't think they have the team and the offensive line that they had last year anyway. So we'll see what happens. But
All right.
I'm not a sexy name in my opinion.
And let's not forget, we know why he picked Miami. His girlfriend's on the basketball team.
Yeah.
He didn't go there just for football. Yes, they graduated their starting quarterback who went first in the draft, but his girlfriend's on the basketball team. That's why he chose there.
All right, bonus question. Connors, is there anybody on this list good enough to tank for?
Yes.
Who you catching? Who you tanking for?
I would tank for Arch, and I would tank for Kubiak.
Okay. Will, anybody good enough to tank for?
Arch Manning for me until I see otherwise.
Okay. All right. So fans, in segment 3, we'll talk a little bit about coaching, but more importantly, who do the bettors think can go from worst to first strictly for entertainment purposes only? We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3. Story close to my heart. Baltimore solidifying their coaching staff. So Baltimore, the Ravens have a chance to go all in on this, and it's Super Bowl or bust for them. And Chuck Pagano made a clear distinction upon his return that he always wanted to return to coaching, but he never wanted to be a head coach again. Chuck Pagano is 64. He ended his 4-year retirement in late January when he was hired as the Baltimore Ravens senior secondary coach. So he's working with a specific group, but someone with his type of experience is getting all types of just help for Harbaugh and the coaching staff. And as somebody who left coaching willingly, and I haven't come back, and part of why I haven't come back is because my player who's here says, I don't know if you can do this again. These kids is different. So I'm very excited about watching. I'm very excited watching Chuck Pagano come back in a secondary role, and I think he's going to do an awesome job. Will, as somebody who knows that I miss it, but not enough to come back, Chuck Pagano missed it, but he missed it enough to come back. How do you think this is going to work out for him?
I mean, if his vibes are good, then it should work. I mean, if you keep the energy going and the man knows what he's doing, and obviously winning cures everything. So if they come in and they start 5-0, 6-0, things are going to be beautiful. They're going to be honeymoon. Things are going to be great. Again, he's old enough to have a immense amount of experience, but he's not old enough to be too tired. I feel like 64, he's still pepping. He's like, let's go. Let's things going. Ha ha ha. I'm running with the guys. He's doing his thing. Man, and the best thing Baltimore can do is take less things away from John Harbaugh to do. Take less things away. Just let him be a figurehead. Just be a guy that says, look, if we win, take the credit. If we lose, hey, go out there and take the credit. Whatever it is, man.
Right.
He's a politician. He's like, I'd rather be the guy with smart people behind me than the guy who thinks I know everything. And I think, that's what he did, and if you look about winners all over sports, it could be baseball, football, basketball. It's the assistants, it's the coordinators, it's those guys that make a difference because those guys are with the coach, which are the players, day after day after day after day. They see them, they know them. I know your families, how you doing, And Chuck Pagano is one of the kind of guys. It's hey, how's it going? Everything good? Da, 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 da. So I really think that this is going to be good for Baltimore. It's a great for a veteran team ready to take that step to the championship and put on what they have to do. And removes any more responsibilities from Harbaugh because, if I can rally on somebody else rather than Harbaugh or a bad decision, I would. But I think that's a good, really small decision by Baltimore that a lot of people won't mention into it until December, January.
Yeah. Mike, you could have gone the administrator route. You could have gone, but you chose to stay in the classroom and impact there. With a guy like Chuck Pagano on the Ravens staff, what type of impact do you think he could have on their Super Bowl or bust season?
He's going to have a huge impact. I mean, this guy has 40 years of big-time football coaching experience. He started in 1984 as a grad assistant for USC. Then from there, he went to Miami with Butch Davies. Then that's grad assistants. Then he started as a defensive backs coach in East Carolina, UNLV. So he worked his way up from smaller, very good schools to places like Boise in the late 80s, then on to the big-time colleges. This is a guy who coached at the pinnacle of sports. There's only 32 head coaching jobs in the NFL. 32. So this guy's coming in with a plethora of experiences, and he's going to be working with the defensive backs, one of the hardest positions to play, hardest positions to coach, and he has all this experience where he can give that to them. He's not the coordinator where he has to worry about everything. He's got to worry about 4 guys, the 2 cornerbacks, the 2 safeties. And if the defensive coaching staff has any questions, what a better resource to go to than Chuck Pagano. This guy is a coaching phenom. I mean, when he was with the Colts, Andrew Luck, I mean, good Lord, he had a very, very good team. And Indy's not a huge money team. So he won with not smoke and mirrors. He won with smarts. So this is one of the best hires I've heard in a long time to be able to coax him out. But again, we've always said the Harbaughs, they're not everyone's cup of tea. But if they can get you to drink the Kool-Aid and jump on board, and like we said many times, this is a year that's almost make or break for the Ravens. Everything's lined up. The coach got his extension. The quarterback feels that he's been dissed the last couple of years. They haven't done what they need to. This team is poised to win. And hiring Chuck Pagano is nothing but another bullet in the gun to say, here's what we're doing. Here's who we got. Total experience, a great guy we can use as a sounding board, or just have him work in his room and work with those young men. So I think this is one of the best hires that I've heard all offseason.
All right. So, Will, I'm going to go to you. Washington Commanders had a tremendous turnaround season last year, and now we got a new year and a new crop because the NFL always has that one team that just goes from the pits to the pinnacle. Who do you predict will be that team this year?
This year. Well, Commanders have an amazing team last year. The team
Now, which team who stunk last year is going to be that team this year?
Who stunk? Who would do it? Man, I mean, if I'm looking at the list that I have right now, I gotta say the Browns. I mean, I gotta say the Bears. I gotta say the Bears. I think the Bears, they have the veterans they need. They have the quarterback that they need. He's not a bum. He had a rough rookie season, and there were some bad breaks on his end, which is, not his fault. They fired some people, hired some new. Ben Johnson was hired. They got a new coach. I could see him making that next step. I think the Vikings, they're going McCarthy. We'll see what happens with him. We don't know if he's him yet. Lions, they're fighting.
Hey, we're only talking about those bums. So,
But
Connors, what about you? Who is going to go from the outhouse to the penthouse this year as you're taking a look? Bears is a great pick, but who do you think is going to go from worst to first, so to speak?
I don't know. The smart money's probably on the 49ers. This last year, they were 6-11. That could have been an anomaly because let's look at their record over the last 5 or 6 years. 13-3 in 2019. In 2020, they were 6-10. 21, they were 10-7. 22, they were 13-4. 2023, they were 12-5, and last year 11-6. Was that an anomaly, or is that Brock Purdy's just not that good a quarterback? So they just gave him his bag. So we'll see what happens. I do think that the Bears are going to make the biggest jump of those teams, but I don't see any of these bums making a jump all the way from worst to first. I mean, the Patriots, they don't have it. The Saints, no, the guy who was going to play quarterback for them turned down $30 million to retire instead of just taking the money. Tennessee, rookie quarterback, probably going to start right away. I have no faith in that. Maybe the Raiders. I mean, they got their coach. They got
like that.
Smith. Now that I'm looking at it ain't the Giants. I can tell you that right damn now. It's not the Giants. So if I'm going with the Raiders could win the AFC West with their coach. Pete Carroll is a god. He's got the quarterback that he picked. He's got O'Leary, I think, as his offensive coordinator. I'm going Raiders are the worst of first.
I thought it was Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly, excuse me.
Chip
I
Kelly.
can't keep all those Irishmen's names straight. So that's just me. But no, so I think the Raiders have the best chance of going worst to first with Pete Carroll at the helm and Gino.
All right. So to close, fans, the BSN Sports, they do clothing, they do outfitting, they do a great job. They're doing CKA and OCP gear. We get $5 for every item sold. So from June 9th to June 23rd, take a look at our social media daily. Click the link, whether it's at CKA Save Project or at Odd Coaches. We could use the support, and it's some of the freshest gear you're ever going to see. We have a whole store, backpacks, hats, hoodies. It's all kinds of good stuff. So on behalf of my cavalcade of stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.